Well, sometimes a little city break is just what you need to spice things up a bit, and Liverpool's trip to Budapest has gone very nicely indeed. 4-0 over the two legs in the Hungarian capital. In contrast to their domestic woes, things going nicely. Look at that, smiles on Salah's face for them in Europe. Now, meanwhile, PSG, as expected, are heading through to the quarterfinals as well. It's into injury time there in Paris. 1-1 on the night. Lionel Messi missed a penalty just before half-time. Barca have thrown the kitchen sink at it to no avail, barring an incredible last 2 minutes there. Barca are gone for another year, and PSG march on. Back to Budapest, though. Just what Liverpool needed, Niall?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see what it means to them. It's a sanctuary, I think David called it, that Europe will do that for them this year. Just look at the smiles on their faces. Haven't seen this for a long time. And they're looking forward to the draw now. They'll be really pepped up. Manager, look at that. Great to see him like that. He's too good, and they're too good to be going through what they're doing domestically. And this is a huge boost for them. And just to talk about Becker, he's gone through a lot in his personal world, his dad dying. He never had a shot to save tonight, but it's great that he's back. He's part of a winning team. They'll all kind of group again, just even to see them smiles. There's the two of them there now. Been through a lot, the two of them personally.
Are they? Does it look like they're really trying to draw the positivity from this now and almost recharge themselves emotionally, Brian, by the looks of that?
Yeah, I think the manager will put almost an exaggerated side to this win, because the wins have been so scarce lately. They've been on such a horrendous run of defeats that it almost becomes like, weren't we brilliant tonight? I didn't think they were brilliant at all. I thought it wasn't hugely better than a lot of their recent performances. They were adequate tonight. They got away with a fair bit at the back. They should have won and should have had it wrapped up in the first half with the chances. They left the 3 up against the 3 Leipzig defenders for periods, and then they sat in the midfield, but they did cough up some chances. And I think a better team than Leipzig, and Niall outlined it before the match of how erratic they are as a team in the attacking part of the pitch. They proved that once again tonight, RB Leipzig. And Jerry was very complimentary about the centre-backs tonight. I thought they did all right, but they made a few errors that would be punished again by better quality in the next round of competition.
That's the big question, isn't it? Tougher tests ahead for Liverpool. Technically, it ends at losing home run, even though they were playing away in neutral territory. Confidence is a word that you football people use a lot to explain things when things are going wrong and going right for teams. Is that what we saw with Liverpool? So many chances that they had until they got the first goal that we normally saw them put away with ease in previous seasons. And did we see a potential twist in that tonight, or change in that?
Well, there were difficult moments in the game for them, and when they hadn't scored, it was probably playing on their minds, because I suppose the opposition make changes and start to put pressure on in that sort of 50-60th minute of a game. If they get the first goal and it's 2-1, then you're under right pressure. So there was a 10-15 minute spell there, particularly when Leipzig hit the bar with the header. You could see the panic. You see how annoyed the manager was, and it's a lack of confidence. It's a bit of fear as well, because you think, oh my God, we could be going through a really tough last 20 minutes. But once they got the goal, everything was just, you could see that's when the confidence comes, and they could have had more. And
did you see that in Liverpool's general performance, Brian?
Yeah.
That lack of confidence?
I did, because I thought their approach was it was unlike what we normally expect from Liverpool, where they go and take a grip on the game and they like to press teams in the other half. Not always in Europe. We've seen games in the past where they sat in a little bit, but I thought today it was very much about protecting what they had. The 3 central midfield players stayed tight. They rarely went ahead of the ball. When Wijnaldum sat in beside Fabinho and Thiago, and both Mane and Salah were often back deep making the 5, with Jota back 30 yards from the halfway line even. So it was about being compact and providing protection for the centre-backs. RB Leipzig are an awkward team to play against, in that there's a lot of rotation, a lot of movement, changing around the positions, players running briskly from midfield to try and get up and support. Not so many structured positions. Even the centre-backs run out with the ball, but they give you opportunities. But Liverpool, it was about being structured, about being solid, and about playing the counter-attack. And when the three forwards were in attacking positions, it was 3v3 because that's how Leipzig play. They just leave three centre backs back in place. The wing backs are up the line, and they should have punished them earlier. But it was about finding a way to win the match by hook or by crook, and they did it.
Do they need to do that more domestically now, going forward, to try and get a few results? To maybe not go and say we're going to play the way we have done over the last 3 or 4 years under Klopp, to go and play, Wolves next or whoever it is, and adopt that approach? Might not be pretty, but might get a result for them.
Well, it might be more effective now, and one thing is that they don't have the crowd at their back. I mean, the Liverpool's home fans wouldn't put up with the idea of their team sitting in and playing on the counter attack against anyone really. Their game is about attack, get up, get on top of teams, and we'll help suck the ball into the net, all that stuff. Don't have that now. Now it's about being pragmatic, and whatever way that they can get results, that's what they've got to do at the moment. They're 7 points off Chelsea in the four. Chelsea are in the 4th Champions League place at the moment. 7 point off with 3 teams ahead of them: West Ham, Everton, Spurs in between where they are. So they're not all going to stop getting points either. So it's going to be very difficult for them to make that place. Into the last 8 in this tournament now. 2 rounds are going to be drawn, I think, on Friday. So they know what the opposition is, but I think they've got to find another way of getting results. At the moment, the old way hasn't worked. They haven't.
Do you think his flexibility isn't there to just suddenly change it and do 5-2-2? 1 like these things that you see other managers try and they try. He just goes, doesn't he, the same way? Believes in what he has, and teams have worked it out. And just be interesting now for the rest of the season if he does do a slight change and get some playing.
And let someone come on to them a little bit more, and hope by drawing teams out they get more space for Mane and Salah to make the type of runs and get the type of opportunities they had tonight.
By the way, before we look into the analysis, do you both think that this is their only chance of getting Champions League football next season by trying to win the Champions League? Is too much to do in the league? Very quickly.
No, not too much to do, but on their current form it's too much to do.
Right.
Yeah, no, strange year. Anything can happen. I wouldn't write it off.
Right, OK, let's get into it then. So, I mean, the narrative for 69 minutes of that game was those chances that we saw Liverpool players like Salah, Mane, Jota even this season score with ease in previous times, and they weren't going in, and maybe Liverpool fans were wondering, when are we ever going to score? Yeah,
it was edgy. They were doing OK to get in behind, a defence not renowned for keeping teams out, but at the same time, when the chances came, there was just a lack of, of clinicalism. That was what was missing, and that was the thing that's been there so much last year. They played well. This was a wonderful ball through, and he's onside. We were wondering if Jota was slightly off, but in the replay we saw he wasn't. And even the rebound, you would have expected Salah to get that. Mane missed one very similar when it came off the goalkeeper in the first half, tried to head it into the ground. So, just anxiety really for the players as they try to put the ball in the net, and you could feel it. They're going, oh my God, they've missed another one, and they're trying hard, and things were breaking up for them. No sort of problems with their intent or their endeavour. They mean really good things. This is a great ball here. Lets them run in the box, pulls it to the edge. Last season, you'd have expected Salah will get that. He'll take it out of his foot and he'll whip it in the top corner. And the manager's expression there told you where they were, as you say, up to the 70th minute. Yeah, so a little bit of anxiety growing, and we're wondering, do Leipzig have it in them to get the goal that would make this a very, very nervous evening for Liverpool? How close did they come in reality, Brian?
Very few clear opportunities. Forsberg in the first half was probably the best chance. Second half, a lot of threat without much happening. Got in behind the fence well here. Wang's ball across. Phillips done well to get in, to get a blocking position, good blocking position. Here, it's a chance, but look at how it's overplayed by, I think it was Nkunku moved to the right-hand side, overplays the ball. Kluivert struggles to rescue it. Here again, loads of players in good attacking positions, but they just don't have anyone that's clinical. As Noel mentioned, since Werner went, it's Poulsen and Nkunku was on 6 goals, I think, this year as the leading scorer, and that says something. Upamecano, good raid forward.
Yeah, this is a big moment, isn't it? This is the big moment, yeah. Yeah.
And gone now. I think
at the time I thought, he should have come onto it. But when I saw the one that came across from the side angle, I thought, wow, he's done really well. He's had to dig it out. Now, I said earlier, Alisson hadn't got a save to make. That could have been trouble, all right. that was a nervy time.
That
you
could
know,
have
that
changed
was
the momentum.
That was about 4 or 5 minutes before Liverpool got their goal.
What do you make of Leipzig and specifically Nagelsmann, who is much praise and is linked with Real Madrid jobs, the Germany job as well, from what we've seen of them?
Back end of last season, I had him here. Thought, wow, this fella's really got something. I've started to go this way with them. Old Trafford told a lot. They got wiped out at Old Trafford, and I didn't see a lot from him on the night to do anything about it. I thought he had, he had some great inventive stuff at the back end to do so well in the Champions League last time around. I thought, he's one step ahead. I think he's been found wanting badly. Now, OK, Vermeer was scoring goals.
I think they've limited players, Niall.
Yeah,
when you look at them, there's a lot of energy about them and an aggressive style, but actually, technically, a lot of them aren't actually great. When the game comes to this level, Champions League level, I think they're found out with the lack. I mean, we look at Poulsen playing with Denmark, and he does OK. You're never saying he's a great player.
No, yeah, he's
the main.
So
he's a lump.
He's challenging for a German title, so they must be doing something right. I want to get into the goals then, okay? So a little bit of flutters of nerves, and then Salah gets the goal, and it is, as Jerry said in commentary, it is the Salah of old. Lovely finish in this one. Well,
it's a great goal. They're back deep defending as they were a good bit in the game. Salah, a bit of calmness, back to Alexander-Arnold, up the line. Jota links up. Now, that pair linked up well a lot of the game tonight. And it just came to nothing when they got in and around the box. But here they were. And I think Jota, a more confident Jota, probably would have went on and shot himself. But this time, he picks the right pass. You see here, the running of Salah stays going. Jota gets in between the two centre-backs. Timing and weight of the pass were perfect, which was rare in the attacking part of the pitch for them tonight.
And his awareness that Salah was there. That's the flow and the move of Liverpool's front three players, whether it's Firmino, whether it's him, that we're just so used to. They don't even have to look up. They know.
Jota putting his hand up in Firmino's absence? Refreshing.
I thought he missed a couple of chances, but he was willing. He got hold of the ball to start the move, a difficult ball clearance, and there was some good touches from him, but he's not quite there yet. Let's
get to Mane's goal then. Look, Salah's, that was his 25th goal of the season. Like, he's done his bit, but Mane is the one, that was only his 12th goal of the season, Brian. And maybe he's the one that hasn't been pulling his weight in goal-scoring terms in recent
Well, not compared to last season. Last season, he was sensational. I mean, he was the best of the front three last year in many ways. He was the one producing the big goals, the big games. Now Salah been consistent, but Mane tonight, you look at him here, he was waiting on the right ball for the whole match, and it finally came. He wanted the ball to come in a bit sooner. He was pointing for it to be delivered to him earlier. Didn't come too late. Origi, nice little involvement, him just about onside, sneaks in at the far post, gets away from his man, poor marking, but great ball in, good contribution. Origi coming on as a sub, and I'm glad for Mane he scored. I mean, the same two scorers in both games, Mane and Salah, but the question has been raised about Mane. Is it down to over playing too many games, World Cup, African nations, back and play more matches, and not having a rest or a break?
That might have contributed to
a goal's as good as energy. That'll give him so much now, to go forward.
Yep, give him and Liverpool a boost, no doubt.